Okay, welcome. So it's my second week driving for Uber. I made a video last week on my experiences for the first week. Just thought I'd update you, let you know what's going on. So first, let me just give you some history here very quickly of why am I driving for Uber? Well, I worked for a bank for like 11 years and 2 months. Ended up consolidating with another bank, got downsized or right sized or whatever you want to put it. Got a 9-month contract job at an appraisal company, and then that ended because they had no work. So I just said, well, while I'm still looking for another job, I'll be driving for Uber. So my impressions so far are pretty much the same as week one. There's good and bad. The bad being the money. The money is not that great. The good being the customers have actually been really nice. So for this week, I had $112.03 in revenue. So that's not earnings, it's revenue, right? Over 21 trips, which is $5.33 per trip. And that's without my cost for gas, right? Or depreciation, etc. So far my impression is Uber's really good for the rider. For the driver, I'm not so sure. And once again, I've been working kind of the slower hours. So if you work maybe the 2 a.m. shift or that type of thing, maybe the rates are higher and you're going to make more money. But right now, because I'm a new driver, I've just been working the slower hours, kind of like, after like 9 a.m. in the morning, kind of the middle of the day. So let me just give you a few more facts about the money. So as I said, $112.03 over 21 trips, $5.33 per trip. Now if I take out my cost for gas, which I estimated about $50, that means my earnings were only $62. And once again, I'm not working full time, so let's just say over 15 hours. Now when you work for yourself, it's a little bit hard to estimate exactly my hours because there's times when I put the app on and I'm sitting in the car and I sit there for 20 minutes and I don't get a customer. Should I include that as time for work? Should I not? If I'm driving to the customer, you don't get paid for that, but you're including that. So it's kind of a little bit odd like that. But I'm just going to estimate it 15 hours. So $62.03 in earnings over 15 hours is only $4.14 per hour. That's a long way from what I was earning before when I was a consultant making several $100s a day. If I took that $62 and said over 15 hours, what would that be like at 40 hours? It would be about $165.41. And once again, I'm not working so much the surge hours where you could earn more. But even if you earn double that, 165, and double that is what, 330 a week. That's still not a lot. But at 165.41 per week, if I multiply that by 52 weeks, that's only $8,601.49 a year. Not very much at all. That's before tax, but I guess at that rate you probably wouldn't have a whole lot of tax. So plus you've got depreciation on your vehicle, maintenance, etc. So far money-wise, not a great money maker, but the passengers have been nice. It's doable. So I'll just talk about a couple things here. So one thing I learned in week 2 is there's something called a pool, meaning if the passenger signs up for Uber Pool, meaning they're allowed, sort of like a bus, to have a bunch of other people come into the car as well. So you maybe pick up somebody, then you pick up passenger number 2, then pick up passenger number 3, and then you drop them off, but not necessarily in the order and they got on. Think of a bus. If passenger 1 gets on a bus, passenger 2 gets on a bus, passenger 3 gets on a bus, it doesn't mean that passenger 1 necessarily gets dropped off first. It gets dropped off sort of in the order along the route where they're going. So in some cases, I only got paid like $2.62 for some of those pool passengers. So I think they probably paid Uber something like $4. Uber takes $1 off the top, and then so that would be $3 left, and we split the remaining $3 like 80-20. So today I had an incident. Not every Uber driver is allowed in Los Angeles to go to the airport. You have to have a special permit. So once again, you have to look at your particular market, but in Los Angeles, I need a permit to go either to LAX or Burbank. So I went over and I pulled up to the house, and there was some people standing outside, and they had a bunch of luggage, and I asked them right away, where are you going? And they said, oh, we're going to the airport. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't have the airport permit. So I told the customer to cancel. Turns out it charges him a cancellation fee, which I then went home and went into my laptop and said, explain to Uber, please don't charge this customer a cancellation fee because it wasn't their fault. I was the one that couldn't take them to LAX. Turns out I can actually do that on the app as well, I found out later, so it wouldn't charge the customer at all. But the customer will get refunded their cancellation fee. Hopefully the next driver they get did have the airport permit. What I thought originally is that Uber wouldn't even route me a customer that was going to LAX because it knows, A, I'm a relatively new driver, and B, that I don't have the airport permit. So I'm not really sure how that works. I'll just give you, once again, as I did in the last video, just a sampling of some of the types of customers. I'm not going to mention specific names or exact destinations and things, but just kind of give you an idea of who's taking Uber and where are they going. So last week I took a nice lady from London who just arrived in Pasadena. From Pasadena to the Huntington Library. She said she was doing some research there. Took a nice guy to pick up his car at a VW dealership near Walnut and Sierra Madre. I picked up a chef who worked in San Gabriel over by Las Tunas. Now, I've noticed I'm getting a lot of restaurant people. I think that's because I've been working later in the day. If I work like the 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. shift, I might get more corporate people. But I tend to be going to work later than that, so I'm getting a lot of people that work at restaurants. That's about the fourth restaurant person I've had in a week. Then I had a nice guy from Pasadena that was going to Glendale to meet his brother who was from out of town, was staying at a hotel. And then I took a young lady to Pasadena City College, and here's a case. I picked her up by the 110 freeway, and she said, it was like 11:40, and she said, I have to be to Pasadena City College, which is not very far at all, but have to be there by 12 o'clock because the doors will shut to the orientation. So I think I got her there by 10 to 12, so I'm sure she made her orientation fine. And then I took a nice Chinese woman over to Encino, where she worked at a restaurant over there, very nice lady. And actually this morning I took someone who said he used to work for the mayor, and he was going to City Hall because there was some sort of a rally going on in downtown Los Angeles at City Hall. And after I dropped him off, I picked up a young guy from the Doubletree Hotel, and he was dressed, when I first saw him, he had like sort of like shoulder pads or something, he had a yellow wig on, and I was like, is this guy just out there or what? But turns out he was going from the Doubletree Hotel to the convention center, and he had a costume on because he was going to an anime convention. So anyway, so once again, the customers continue to be interesting and continue to be very nice. No issues there. This is John, and thanks for watching.